Kakadosh Boker Tov. We're continuing with halachot. The Mishnah Bet in Pirkei Avot Perek Daled says Averah Goreret Averah. One Averah is a catalyst, brings on to other Averot. Shulchan Aruch and Siman Ayin Hey and Orach Chaim Sif Aleph is posek that you're not allowed to say Dvarim Shebikdusha Keneged Se'ar Megule Be'isha Nesuah, which means you're not allowed to come and say anything of Bikdusha. Doesn't matter whether it's going to be any type of a Beracha in front of a woman that she has her hair uncovered. Obviously, we're talking about a married woman. And the Mishnah Berurah comes and he says the reasoning of this, the Isur is because it's Mevi Adam Lidei Irhur. It's going to come and bring a person to improper thoughts. So the Mishnah Berurah and Sivkat and Yod says that even if it's going to be Derech Isha Zove Chavrotea Be'oto Makom Lelech Begilui Rosh B'Shuk, Kederech HaPrutzot, even if it's going to be that this woman comes and she goes and this is the way that she's accustoming herself, that this is the way that she conducts herself, that she goes with her hair uncovered in the marketplace, just like the prutzot, it's still going to be asur. Just like any other part of the body, which means that the Mishnah Berurah is coming and he's not differentiating between the hair and any other body part, that if it's going to be revealed, there's nothing what to do. Why? Since right now there's a din Torah that she has to cover her hair, and therefore it doesn't help. And also, he comes and he says, what? The mothers, they were all careful from the beginning always to do this, and therefore it's going to be asur likro kenegdan, and the only one which is going to be permitted is going to be betulot, right? The girls that they're not married, that's going to be permitted for them to do it. So that is the psak of the Mishnah Berurah. However, though the Aruch HaShulchan, and Siv Zayin, he comes and he says, Ba'avonotenu, because of our sins nowadays, the pasta mispachat, that the tzarat is gone all around, he says, and there's a lot which are not makpidot, he says to do with saying things in front of them, since they're not makpidot, it's considered like ser meguleh ve'en hirhur bezeh. And he comes and he says there's no hirhur in this, and therefore you're allowed to come and say it in front of them, and that is also the psak of the Kaf HaChaim and Sifkat and Yud Zayin and the Igrot Moshe and Orach Chaim Chelekal Siman Membet. So this is the psak of them. It is also the psak of Rabbi Sion Abba Shaul and also the psak of Rav Ovadia Yosef as well. However, the Reshut Divrei Yoel comes and he argues and he brings many different proofs, and he comes and he says, 1 second, we have our Mishnah. Why is this connected to our Mishnah? So he comes and he says, when it says Averah Goreret Averah, Rashi brings down Mitoch Asiyata Shel Averah Achat, right? Adam Nichshal Ba'acheret. Once you've done one Averah, you're going to have a stumbling block. What's the stumbling block? Another Averah. Meaning you already did one Averah, and now you're going to fall into another Averah. So he comes and he says, you see from here, the regilut, the being accustomed of doing one Averah, gives more Averot. Now there's no svara to come and to say that because you did one Averah, you're going to permit another Averah. Just like the Chinuch comes and he says, in Mitzvah Shin Pei Zayin, Averah Goreret Averah, Mitzvah Goreret Mitzvah, She'im Tashit Dartcha Lemalot Avatecha Hara'a Pam Achat, Timashech Acharei Kama Pa'amim. If you're going to come and do an Averah once, you're going to do it many times. But if you're going to be a gibor, right, and you're going to be strong, and you're going to control your Yetzirah, you're going to close your eyes, that's what he says, it's going to be much easier for you many times afterwards. Just like wine. Somebody that loves wine and they start drinking and drinking, so therefore it's drawn to them, so too is with this. So he comes and he says, because of that, he comes and he says that for sure it's going to be asur, and therefore there's no svara latir b'ma shekach na'agul alechet. Not because the women went like that, now you're going to come and you're going to say, you know what, it's permitted for you to continue doing that. And therefore the poskim actually come and say that if you are in a place where there are women in such a thing, so you should turn around. Or the Mishnah Berurah is posek that if you cannot turn around, you can just close your eyes. However, though, again, as I already mentioned before, the psak of the Aruch HaShulchan, Kaf HaChaim, Rabbi Sion Abba Shaul and Rav Ovadia, right, and the Igrot Moshe, was to be more mekel, because they differentiate between se'ar and sharaguf, which means they're differentiating between the hair and other parts of the body. Other parts of the body, it could be even where the sleeves, right, where the arms or the legs, that is an isur, that is actually erva be'etzem, which means it's not because it's bringing hirhur. Even without bringing hirhur, for example, that all the women go with short sleeves. At the end of the day, that in itself is erva. And once it's erva, it doesn't help anything else. to do with the hair which brings, right, which to do with the hair which brings Yidhur, and the Yidhur is the problem, if they're always going around like that, so therefore there's more room to be lenient. So again, as we already mentioned, obviously it is very important that a person should be careful, because the Chatechila, it's actually brought down, we brought it in the name of Chavetz Chaim, that he brings down that if a person saying whether it's going to be Berachot, right, or other things, whether it's Havdalah, Kiddush, and other things, the woman should cover her hair, because if he's actually saying the Berachot in front of her, it brings poverty, and therefore a person should be very, very careful that a person should not be looking, or that at least his wife should cover her hair during the times that he's doing Berachot. But for sure, when it's talking about other people, that they don't have that option of coming and saying that, but at least they should try to either close their eyes, or they would be looking in another direction. They should turn their body to another direction, because again, obviously this is a very important halakha, but diavad, if you have no other choice, and you're right in front of a woman that she's like that, and she doesn't have her hair covered, you do have what to rely on in order to say whether it's going to be Birkat Hamazon or other berachot as well.